Hey YouTube, I quickly learned that people were not going meta, they were going counter meta. So in my video yesterday, I talked about how, you got these Poliwrath is going to be meta, like there's my opponent's Poliwrath, like Poliwrath's going to be meta, Skarmory is going to be meta. And I used like a Skarmory, I don't know, I forget if I used Poliwrath in my first team, but I used Skarmory on the lead. And I saw 3 or 4 Charjabugs in a row. And I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing here. We are going counter meta. So that is what I started with. So I started with Charjabug, Lickitung, Shadow Dragonair. Basically, Charjabug deals with Charjabug deals with Poliwrath. Lickitung will get beat by Poliwrath. So Charjabug deals with Skarmory and Poliwrath. Lickitung will deal with kind of just most other things. And then Dragonair felt safe too. And I did well with the team until I ran into a Carbink, which kind of killed like Dragonair Charjabug for sure. And then I put in Sirfetch'd as an answer to that. So that's why some of these battles were Dragonair, some of them were Sirfetch'd. But the showcase is Charjabug. Just has a great answer to a lot of things here because you have obviously the Skarmory and the Poliwrath, but you also have a lot of time. I saw a couple like Skarmory double dragon teams too as well. And the thing is, like, by the time the dragons come in, you already one Volt Switch through. Like, you can like chip with X Scissor and then comfortably get into your second Pokemon. So I found that like Charjabug was just like generally pretty safe in this meta. This matchup, I do my best to. They go double dig here, so I think I can farm down. Yeah, there's one matchup I did my best to mess up the mid game here against Gligar. So out comes Mantine. So this team is again double weak to Charjabug. I mentioned in my video yesterday, my last team of the top team video was I said I think Electric will have a lot of play in this meta, and I built a team with Zapdos. But Charjabug obviously fits the bill, resisting the counters on Poliwrath here. They get a move up. I do get a Volt Switch through, and then I bait and then go Discharge because I don't know if I could get to discharges, but I think I still need one more anyways here. Yeah, so I think I probably still needed it. I think it's just 3 and 2 for the X Scissor as opposed to the discharge, which is still 3 and 3. But get it off, and I still have full health Lickitung to go. So take that one there. Skarmory, like, this is not me. So Mud Boys, not surprising, and this is why I kind of used Dragonair at the beginning. So I thought like Mud Boys. Like all the Mud Boys are going to have at best a fast mud move, but also just like a harder hitting like water move. So I thought like maybe like Swampert will have a hard hitting Hydro Cannon. This will have Scald that they can't really use against a dragon. So I thought like maybe that makes sense, but I did not expect that Mud Bomb to actually do over 50% on a Dragonair. So I do win CMP here, which is pretty big. I end up shielding, and I think they get to the third move, or I don't throw the power, or I don't throw the, I'm thinking I can farm down. Or no, they get to a move, because I'm not going to get to a move. So like, okay, I just lost Switch, right? So Dragonair, not a great answer for the Mud Boys. I probably should have just come Lickitung, especially with that having Power Whip. I do get a hit on energy here, though. And they come back with Skarmory, and I'm like, okay, is this the Skarmory Poliwrath double weak to Electric core that I put on my top team yesterday? Like, it was my first team with this core. Obviously it's core broken. It's one thing to like put it on paper and have a double weakness that you can cover. It's another thing to like play and see it in action and be like, Electric is actually very, very tough for this team. You really can't come back from that. Lickitung, even though it's a weak bad matchup there, having already chunked it a bunch, that's good. Charjabug X Scissors is the play here, but it's still a losing matchup in the ones, having known that from regionals when I brought Charjabug and Lickitung. Charjabug keeps it close, but it does lose. Litleo, way too slow. Like, way too slow. I have a dragon that resists fire. You should be making that move immediately, but holy smokes. Like, did I bring my glassiest freaking Pokemon here? Because it is just getting lit up by fire here, which is shocking to me. So I think I shield this thinking I can farm down before they take me out with this Incinerate, because it's going to take 2, I think. Yeah, so that incinerates a little too long, so it doesn't register. Lickitung comes back in. I do get this body slam off, which is nice. Good chip there. I'm already at a move. I mean, I probably should have thrown it right away, but it doesn't matter too much. Oh, I remember losing this matchup. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid here. They have a double fire team. And so I take this out. No, I don't. I take this out because I shield this and the fire Pokemon comes in, and instead of just going straight for the discharge, which I have, I try to get the Volt Switch through. But by that time, I'm gonna that incinerate is gonna register as I'm getting the Volt Switch through. So because it registers before. So that cost me this game right there. Because if I had that chip damage or grabbed that shield, I would have easily won this matchup. But Fire Blast is a nice friggin' move. So really cool. Nice Salazzle there. Vigoroth. Vigoroth is a good matchup, but again, it's trickier now that it has Rock Slide, right? Because Rock Slide, I don't think a Rock Slide, I end up shielding both and they just go straight Body Slam. Let me actually just look that up, how much a Rock Slide actually does to a Charjabug. Just in case you do see this matchup. On your end. So let's say you have Zero Shields. Let's say I only have Rock Slide. Let's max stat products here for both. A Rock Slide does only 52%, right? So it's super effective on the bug, but it only does 52%, right? Yeah, 100% it's super effective because Carbon glates you up. Yeah. So I'm actually surprised that it only does 52%. Had I known that, I probably would have let it go. But yeah, now you know for next time, right? These are the types of things that looking back, it's easy to analyze in the moment. When you're like, Rock Slide's super effective. This is going to chip me huge, and then they can Body Slam. Apparently, it's still going to take multiple Rock Slides to take you out, so keep that in mind. The Skarmory vs. Lickitung matchup is not a terrible matchup, right? It's bad in the fact that all your charge moves are resisted, but like you're so tanky and the Lick does so much damage, and Body Slam even resisted is going to start adding up. So I grabbed one shield. They're still going to have to throw... Sky Attack probably takes me out. I think they Brave Bird me if I remember. Because then I just come in and farm this thing as much as I can. And they don't get another move off. They got to reset unless they were switch locked. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't reset. Anyways, I think this is where I come in with Sirfetch'd. So lead here is neutral. Do I have Cofagrigus on my next team? Yeah, I got a nice next team coming up tomorrow. Happy Community Day for those of you who are playing. Hope you get your dust and your whatever. Shadow Ball comes through. I take it in the zeros. They will farm down, but that is okay for me because I have Lickitung, which can just absorb everything here. And why I like Sirfetch'd, oh man, I can feel a sneeze coming on. Why I like Sirfetch'd is it hits so hard, and so many people are running Poliwrath and Skarmory. So Poliwrath you're just going to kill because you get to the Leaf Blade. Neutral counters, Leaf Blade is going to like... I don't know if it one-shots, but I'm pretty sure it comes... If it doesn't one-shot, it comes close to it. And the other thing is Skarmory. And the thing with Skarmory is your counters are neutral. They don't have a flying fast move. And you get to these Night Slashes in 5. And... Oh, I don't boost on this one. I think I boosted on one of them. But these Night Slashes come so quick, and these counters are neutral. Like, they really add up here, right? Because like, look at how much... Yes, I had to burn a shield, which if you're using Sirfetch'd, you need shields with it. But there we go. I just took it out. Out comes a Whiscash. Counters are adding up. This will one-shot if they don't shield. If they do shield, I think they could have outpaced me, but they let it go. And just like Sirfetch'd sweep there. Like, I like Sirfetch'd. I would not be surprised if I go back to it later. See, again... way too slow. Way too slow considering Sirfetch'd has a good, like such a good matchup here. I end up going for the CMP when they have this, and they let it go. So I am still able to keep switch. I get a Leaf Blade off on the Jellicent. I'll have CHARJABUG back on it. Actually, I would not be surprised if I come back in Lickitung here, because if they're loaded, I really don't want to take Shadow Balls on CHARJABUG, so I'm just going to come and absorb it on Lickitung. Yeah, and they have an Abomasnow. I already know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is the one. They have like one win condition. No, maybe it's not this one. One of them I got caught on. One of them I got caught on. It was like one of their only win conditions. I don't think it's this one. I think this one I've got Jellicent pretty dead here, because I just shield. Yeah, I just shield up this energy ball, and then their Jellicent's basically just drawing dead against what I have left here. It's not this one. One of them, maybe it's on my tomorrow team. They only had one win condition. It was a catch. I'm like, don't throw unless they're in mid animation, and I just like threw not when they were mid animation, and they caught. I was like, oh, that's so stupid. Again, CHARJABUG coming in really nice here against a Poliwrath. They let it go. They grabbed the shield. I think that's good enough for them. Skeldurge tricky, right? So that's why I haven't found a team I love with this core. See, this is me like doing it on the bus, being like, nope, that one team didn't work. I've seen too many CHARJABUGs. Let me do CHARJABUG on my own. Oh, nope. The Dragonair didn't work. I saw a Carbink that core broke. This makes sense overall, but had I actually like team built properly, I like the CHARJABUG and I like the Lickitung core. I think they actually like work really well together in this remix. Question is, what is a good third? And they are recommending. You know what? Sirfetch'd is number 7 on this list for PV Poke. So I'm not totally off. Yes, you'll have a problem with Skeldurge. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to have a problem with Skeldurge, that's fine. Like Sirfetch'd does actually cover, because some of the core breakers here are Carbink, Vigoroth, Guzzlord, which Sirfetch'd deals with all of them. So I know that it makes sense when I put it together. It's just that, like, yes, there'll be certain Pokemon that just core break you like that, and there's not too much you can do about it. This one, the thing about CHARJABUG is it's pretty bulky, and if you're seeing darks, right, super effective X Scissors. Bug super effective on dark, so able to chip this. Brutal Swing, that's just interesting instead of like Crunch. So Brutal Swing there. I will take Switch if they let this go. If not, that's fine. They will do some chip here. The problem is Sirfetch'd is so glassy, right? So I let it go. I'm like, oh, it's just a Dragon Tail. But then it's, or Dragon Claw. But I'm like, oh yeah, Dragon Claw does like 45% to you, and then the Dragon Tail takes the rest. And then by that point, it is a fast move damage team in the back. With this. And there's your counter user, so I just get beat here. So had I shielded the Sirfetch'd, I think I could have probably gotten to another move on. I probably could have stayed in a bit longer against the Shadow Vic to get a move off there, but unfortunately I can't. So not much I can do. Yeah, this is like what I call a sneaky fast move damage team, right? You have a Dragon Tail Guzzlord, which isn't like a true fast move damage team, but like Dragon Tail does that up, and then you have like a counter user, and then you have your Shadow Vic. So it's kind of like not a true fast move damage team, but it's one of those like quasi fast move damage is really going to add up, and then you have like when you don't see it as a fast move damage team, and you don't shield their charge moves, but then they have a fast move Pokemon in the back, sort of thing. They're going to win CMP. I'm surprised they give up Switch like this. It ends up working in their favor. So one thing also with Sirfetch'd is that Gligar is so tough. So if I don't get my Lickitung in it, I'm going to have a lot of trouble. So again, that's why I think Dragonair was better. But then, so pick your poison. Sirfetch'd covers a lot of the weaknesses. But core broken by obviously Gligar here and what was the other one? Gligar and whatever the other Pokemon I just said that core broke it before. Skeledirge. Skeledirge being half ghost, half fire. Or you go with Dragonair and just you need to watch out for like Carbinks. Pick your poison. Your backline is a bit, if you go run Dragonair, it's a little trickier against Skarmory, but like you can somewhat deal with it. Galvantula comes back in. I get the body slam off, which is big because this will grab a shield because they have to. I'm going to force them to throw their energy because then I can hopefully just counter down. The only problem is I potentially just switch lock myself. So I have to like try and wait out the timer, counter a bunch. Those counters hurt. Out comes a Jellicent. Leaf Blade in neutral situation. That actually should not have gone through. Leaf Blade in neutral situations is the better move. You throw the Night Slash if you're like trying to boost, right? So Leaf Blade and Night Slash are both super effective. But for Sirfetch'd, the stats on these things is that Leaf Blade they're both 35 energy. Leaf Blade does 70 damage. Night Slash only does 50 damage. So 2 damage per energy for Leaf Blade and only 1.43 for Night Slash. So that you're really only throwing Night Slash if 1, Leaf Blade is resisted, or 2, both moves, let's say they have like 10 energy left, right? If they only have like 10 energy left and you have to throw a charge move because you're going to like you have to like CMP or else they're going to get a move off, then you throw Night Slash because it'll still take him out and you're trying for the boost. So that is how you play Leaf Blade and Night Slash. Anyways, that is the team. Again, not like, this is definitely not one in the title I can say 12-3. Like, I definitely didn't do amazing with this team. Like, I think each sort of works in its own, but it has its weaknesses. So just kind of how you want to play it. You can also just switch up like Lickitung, stuff like that, if you want a better answer for, let's say, I mean, Lickitung is a pretty good answer for Gligar. But yeah, Skeledirge. I mean, Skeledirge Elixir super effective. Just your other moves aren't. So if you want to cover like your fires a bit better, it depends. Just like what you think you're going to see in your meta. But I do think it's been a very meta and anti-meta, right? I saw lots of Skarmory, I saw a lot of Poliwraths, and then I saw a lot of like Charjabugs and Dragons, and Mud Boys. So kind of like what I expected based on my top team videos. So you can go check out the top team videos. Don't use number 1 because Charjabug's everywhere, and I expect it to be more everywhere after they put this out. But yeah, I do have I think it's Guzzlord Cofagrigus tomorrow, so it's kind of a interesting team combo. But it's been working for me so far in the last set that I did. Anyways, that's tomorrow. Have a good community day. And I will see you guys in the next one.